Oh no, I know I'm muted. Sorry, y'all. I was talking. Somebody's like, you're muted. Sorry, I was admitting everybody. But hi guys, I know I'm muted. Hello. Sorry. Hello. I wasn't ready to start yet. Hi. Happy Wednesday. I am so excited to be leading with y'all. For anybody who does not know who I am, my name is Linz. I know all of y'all are so cute. You're muted. I love how y'all, because that's a total Linz thing to do. I would talk for an entire hour, not realizing I was muted. But hi, okay. I am still admitting everybody, so bear with me. I am so excited to chat tonight. If you don't know who I am, again, hi, I am Linz. I am one of your 200K leaders underneath M. M is not going to make it on tonight. Travis is having some medical stuff going on. So if we can just keep them in our thoughts and our prayers and just kind of send them some good vibes tonight. She's going to unplug and spend some much needed time with her husband. And yeah, so send them some prayers and some good vibes. All right. I think I have almost everybody admitted in. If you know me, I'm a squirrel. And so bear with me as I go back and forth. But tonight I want to talk about systems. I want to talk about duplication. I want to talk about the things that are available, and not only just talk about it, but I want to walk you guys through and show you how I do things, what I do, what M does, how she does things, because we do things very, very similar. So I went ahead yesterday, Em and I were talking, and we kind of gave the hustlin page a little bit of a facelift. I went ahead and I kind of cleaned out through the units, and I went through and I kind of cleaned through the topics, just because there was a lot of stuff going on there. And I feel like, and who can kind of agree and feel this, that when you join, or when you did join, or you hear this from people who join you, that it's kind of a lot of information and you get overwhelmed. Hi. You can get so overwhelmed with all of the Zooms, all of the training, all of the content that is on there. And if you've never heard that from somebody, y'all, I get overwhelmed sometimes. I'm going to tell y'all the truth here. I get overwhelmed sometimes. So I want to show you guys and kind of walk you guys step by step through how I work with someone that is newly enrolling, how I onboard someone per se, if that's what we want to call it, what I do in the first 14 days. So let me get on to Facebook here, and then let me, before I share my screen and show y'all everything that's going on over here, okay, I'm also not a techawini, so bear with me. Share screen. Okay, perfect. So I want to talk about the first 14 days. Can everybody hear me okay? And you can see my screen. As you can tell, it's the hustlin page. Okay, good, we're good. So what I want to show you guys is the units. So when someone enrolls with you, you add them into our team page, right? From there, it's kind of talking about the first 14 days. So I try my best to not overwhelm somebody, or kind of just give them the information that is needed without word vomiting. Because if you're like me, you have gift of gab and you're just like, but they need to know this. And so you just start going, right? So for me, this was the easiest way for me to make sure that I don't overcomplicate things, that I don't do my lovely gift of gab, that I don't oversay things or not say information. And also it allows me to know that every single person that's joining me, or joining somebody on my team, or joining, that's joining anywhere in your organization, is getting the same information. So my favorite saying is, there's a stone at the top of a creek and there's little divots, right, as you're going down the river. Well, is that stone going to make it all the way down the river, or is it going to stop at like a level 4 because a level 4 doesn't know that we have systems, right? Wouldn't you rather it be a stone that gets all the way down to levels and limited levels, right? Wouldn't you rather know that everybody on your team has the support and everybody on your team has the systems? Systems are so, so important and they're huge to have in place. So if you aren't using these, I highly suggest maybe starting to transition into starting to use them. Or if you have never watched these or were not introduced to these, go and watch them after tonight. Get yourself familiar with what's in these. Watch the videos and know what your newbies are going to be listening to and how they're going to be running things. So you add them into here. They get approved once they're qualified and active. An admin will go ahead and approve them. From there, we're going to go into unit 1. So if you are used to using these, you're going to notice that the units look a little slim. We gave them a little facelift. So unit 1 has 2 videos in it now. It used to have a lot more. And don't worry, I'm going to talk about where I put those videos. We're going to talk about topics and stuff tonight too. But I want to talk about the importance of this right here, the unit 1. In unit 1, we have Katie's new promoter training video. What this is going to do is it's going to talk about, they just started. And if you know Katie, you know she's probably my favoriteest person for all of my newbies to hear first, because she just has that like calming about her. She just has that like, I don't know what it is about her. And if she's on here, like, I love you to death because you calm every single person. And she's like the calm to my spaz. So I love that she starts this off because she just is that like, believe in yourself, like you can do this kind of person. And so we put this video here. The next one that goes into is M. She's going to talk about VIPs. So what I do is I tag them in this video and I tag them in this video and I tell them, message me once you've watched about the VIPs. From there, we talk about their questions. This allows them to learn what the first 14 days is, talks about their curiosity post, talks about their announcement post, talks about their oh shit list, talks about our team page, talks about our team as a whole, talks about how to do all the things, right? Without kind of going into every sort of information that we can kind of word vomit into them, because I know we want to share everything with people. And we can't always do that. Let me see if, make sure you guys don't have any questions. Oh, I don't know how to do, okay. I have to stop sharing in order to open up the waiting room. So bear with me. Sorry, y'all. Zoom did this new thing. All right, back to sharing. Okay, so you have that unit that you share with, right? You tag your people in here, you tell them to message you once they have watched these videos. From there, go over their questions, ask them about their VIP questions, ask them about their oh shit list, help them create a curiosity post. And I will go to where I have those different posts and that help and stuff like that in the topic section. Once they've watched that, what do I do next? I tag them in these 3 videos. It's me. Just so happens to be this entire unit is me. If any other leader wants to remake one of these videos so it's not all my annoying voice, I would be all for it, but y'all get me right now. So unit 2 is just listening to Lynn's. The first video I tag them is the what's next. For me, this what's next video is an onboarding Zoom. If you've been a part of our tribe for a couple months, we have been doing on Thursdays onboarding Zooms. We're no longer going to be offering those in October, and instead we're going to do we're going to have some other different options. I know smaller teams are going to offer their own Zooms and stuff like that. So you guys can kind of get familiar with your team and some more trainings more. So instead of onboarding Zoom, I went ahead and I saved a live onboarding. So what they're going to get is everything that I would have said in that onboarding Zoom, AKA we're going to talk about fives. We're going to talk about IPAs. We're going to talk about curiosity posts. We're going to talk about announcement posts. We're going to talk about all the things and training suggestions for your first 14 days. After that, I tag them in these ones. So all 3, what's next, finding your fives, and IPAs. So what is, and I'm going to make sure I keep adding people in from the waiting room. I'm sorry, y'all. So what's next from that is you have your your fives and your IPAs on top of the what's next. So when you're tagging people in that, what I do in my fives is the tagging in them is I say, in the fives video, I say, I will help you with your fives list. Y'all, this is so, so, so important for me personally when it comes to onboarding and helping my new girls or new guys hit their VIPs. I like to go through their fives list with them. I like to ask them what they think it is or what they are. If they haven't tried the products yet, it's okay. Okay, they can do that one later, but they can have a fives for the company and a branding fives for sure. That way, right off the bat, we are hitting it hard on their fives and they're learning how to find content that matches their fives. And a lot of times also people mix up their fives list and they'll make their company fives their why for this industry. So I like to really make sure that it's not based around their why, but it's more solely based around their fives. And then it also helps you get to know your newbies more. You learn about them, their branding. You get to help them create posts around it and stories. Something I do on the IPA one is I tag them in it and I say, hey, let me know when you're finished with this and I can add you into our team chat. I know every single 80K and above, probably even 40K and above has a team chat. So if you are not in your 40 or 80 or 200K's team chat, reach out to us. Let us know. Say, hey, I'm in your downline. Can I be in your chat? Not a single one of us is going to tell you no. I can tell you that right off the bat. We're a very inclusive team. We're not like that. So if you are not in a chat, it's not because you're not there on purpose. It's probably just because you didn't ask to be in it or you just weren't put in it. Like, we're humans. Let's be real. We're all humans. We can admit we make mistakes and stuff happens. So underneath the IPA one, and then when they message me and they say, hey, I finished my fives, I finished my IPAs. Perfect. You know what we're doing? We're creating their announcement posts together. And let me show you where I put, and I know I'm sorry if I'm making anybody nauseous by going back and forth, but I just want to make sure that I'm also doing the waiting room at the same time. I want to show you guys where we put, okay, so topics. So you're on the team page. You're going to go underneath discussion. Over here is topics. If you're on your phone, topics is actually one of these things on the app that you can slide across on the top and you can hit topics and it will bring you to all of them. Okay. If you're on your computer like I am right now, then it's going to be down here. What I did is I put some different things together. So for me, I love to help my newbies make stories. If you haven't ever helped a newbie make a story, I highly suggest helping them make stories off of their fives. But on top of that, their announcement post and their like some posting ideas for their first couple weeks as they're learning. Because I feel like sometimes I made a post about this and I want to say it's in here. Hold on, let me find it. I thought I labeled it first 14 days, but I might have done where it is. Oh, it looks like someone changed it. Okay, well, I will switch this for you guys so it makes more sense, but I think someone might have, they changed it to VIPs. Okay, that's fine too. So we can go with it for VIPs. We'll leave it at that. So underneath the topics, you'll hit VIPs, which makes sense. Mine was posting and first 14 days, but it makes sense, VIPs. So what I do is once they've watched Unit 1 and we make their curiosity post, I tag them in Unit 2, I help them with their fives, I tell them what IPAs are, then we make their announcement post. This is under this example of an announcement post with fives included that they can use to recreate as an example for them. And I know a lot of leaders have their own. This was just one that I had to share with you guys. And I talk about curiosity posts here with some examples also. If nobody has ever written a curiosity post or helped somebody create a curiosity post, there are some right here. But your announcement post is what I help with next. So once they've watched Unit 2, we get their announcement post up. Y'all, the excitement from this, it needs to be real. Instead of starting and stopping and starting and stopping, so they create a curiosity post the next day. Get that announcement post up. Start from the beginning of being consistent. Start from the beginning of that fire underneath them. Because when you start something new, the biggest thing you can do for your business is not stop. So can you imagine if from day one to day like 300 and I don't know, 78. I don't know. I just came up with a number, but you never stopped. Think of that residual that's going to be built. This is instilled from the start. So when you're giving people these tools and showing them these options, it allows them, when they aren't sure really what they're doing, it allows them to truly link arms with you, truly link arms with our team, and have the options to learn how to do this stuff. So here's this is all under VIPs once you're out of the units. So next, Em and I put together a couple bold posts. I like to call them bold instead of salesy, but to me, bold posts are more on your salesy side. And I'm not talking about product testers. I'm not talking about asking people and begging people to buy from you. No. What I'm talking about is sharing what you have your hands on. There are so many options underneath this post that give examples of literal posts that I made or Em made in our first 30 days. If you see this right here, it says December of 2017. I joined December 10th of 2017. So this was in my first 30 days that I created these posts and I shared them. So these are actual posts that I made in my first 30 days. And then I have actual posts of Em's Instagram on here from when she first joined in her first 30 days. The reason we have this on here is because, let me admit more people, sorry y'all, is because a lot of times people see how we post today. They don't see how we posted 3 years ago. When you're having somebody new, you have to bring them back to your day one. How I do that is through these systems. I bring people to the basics. Why? Because when you're brought to the basics and you're able to do these systems and you're able to work through this duplication, you are bringing them back and going to day one yourself. I don't know how many times I say this in a training, and if you've been a part of my trainings before, then you know, I say every 14 days is a new 14 days. It's a new day one. So if today is 2 weeks, tomorrow is day one, and it just so happens it's day one of a new month. How you go into new months, and the reason why I wanted to do this Zoom tonight with y'all, and Em and I were talking about it, is because you can make tomorrow your day one. If you have felt stuck, and y'all know I hate that word, so in order to say that, it took a lot. Hate that word, y'all. But if you feel that way, and you're like, yeah, I just need to restart. How do I start? Basics. Go back to the basics. Walk yourself. Lead yourself through the VIP period. Lead yourself through the first 30 days of trainings. Do not stop. Each time you stop, you have to restart. Y'all, if you have already stopped in the past, and I mean, I'm guilty, I will admit, just like anybody else hopefully would too, is I have stopped before. Let me tell you, restarting, it's not impossible. I had my biggest comeback from a restart. And you know what else I learned from that whole entire thing was that I know what it's like to quit on myself. I know what it's like to stop. Now I want to know what it's like to never quit. Now I want to know what it's like to never have to restart because I'm constantly going. And you know how I'm constantly going? The dogs are in the crate. You're good. Sorry, y'all. Husband. You know why I'm constantly going and how I'm able to never ever stop anymore is because I never stop doing the basics. I'm sitting here as a 200K telling you I still work every 14 days like it's a new 14 days. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to say, oh, this isn't, you know what, I've been doing this for a week. No, honey, no. You can do it. You just have to stop reinventing the wheel. You know that things happen in like what you do today, in 90 days, you're going to start seeing that residual. And it just so happens we have 90 days left in this year, a 90-day push that we are going to be launching tomorrow. 90 days. Are you going to look at January 1st and tell yourself, ooh, wow, you know, let me restart. It's going to be my New Year's resolution. Let me restart. Stop quitting on yourself. Go back to the basics. Walk your newbies through how to use these systems, but more importantly, make sure you're using the systems. Because it's one thing to walk somebody through their VIPs, and there's a whole nother thing to lead yourself through these systems. And I don't know how many times I can say systems, but systems, they work. They're in place for a reason. These are things that we have been doing for 3 years, 2.5 years. Em has been doing them for 3 years. They aren't things that we just woke up one day and was like, let's make a unit out of this. No, y'all, these are things that we have been working on and failing forward. I was saying to my personal downline the other day, I was doing a talk about, I think, Reels, social media. I don't know, it was something. But I talked about on Reels, and I talked about I failed forward. Y'all, I failed miserably on Reels. Whew. But you know what? I also failed miserably when I first started this company. And look at me today. You have to be willing to fail forward in order to go forward. Because if everything is handed to you on a silver platter, you don't know how to build it. You don't know how to fight for it, and you don't know how to grow it. But you have amazing leaders in place that not even me, you have Em, you have Katie, you have Britt, like you have Jen, you have Ariel, you have Amanda, you have amazing leaders. You have Christina, like I literally could go on of all the amazing leaders that we have on our tribe that pour into us and pour into these systems and teach you how we have failed forward. But if you don't allow yourself to lead yourself through these systems, you can enroll 100 people, and it's not going to matter because they're going to follow what you do. You set the thermostat for your team. You set the thermostat for your business. If you are not using what's in place to you and utilizing these, all of the different things, not just the units, but the topic section, y'all, I still rewatch videos from 3 years ago. Not because I wasn't on them, but because I'm in a different mental space than I was before. So I'm going to hear it different today. You have to be willing to watch things over again. You can't just say, I've already watched it. I already know all about it. Because I'm going to sit here and tell you, I don't even know everything. I will never, ever, ever know everything. And that's what I love about this industry, is that it allows me to always learn. I always say I'm a sponge. Are you a sponge? Can you truly say that you're a sponge and that no matter what, even if you know something, if someone's doing a training on Reels and you're like, oh, I did TikTok, like I got Reels. It's basically just that. Like I can do this. So you're not going to show up to it? No, y'all, I will tell you the biggest thing you can do for yourself is if you're going to tell your team to be on something, be on it. If you're going to tag your newbies in something to watch, you better have watched it. But more importantly, if you're going to tag your newbies in a system and go walk them through the first 14 days, and you're going to say, I'm going to link arms with you and I'm going to work with you through these first 14 days. How are you supposed to work with them through the first 14 days if you're not doing the basics? This business is built on the basics. This business is built off of what you do, and it's so simple. It's not easy. I will never, ever say that this is easy, but it is simple. And the times that it becomes overcomplicated, and I'm going to be the first to tell y'all, who else overthinks? Because I know I can't be the only one. Look at everyone's hands going up. Yeah. I always say we're like an overthinking anxiety butterball, like all wrapped into a tribe. Like it's fine. Like I literally overthink everything. So when it comes to this business, I knew if I wanted to succeed, I had to stop overthinking it and making it complicated. There were things in place already. I was watching Katie. I was watching M. They started before me. I watched and they paved the way, and I continued to watch them. I remember when Ariel went 200K. I stalked her page that month because I knew it was happening. And I said, you know what? She has a lot to teach me. You can learn things from your leaders without actually like speaking to them. Just watch what they're doing. Adapt it to you and your fives. If you like something that somebody does, you can do it too. There is not a single person that's going to tell you you cannot do a single thing that any of us leaders have done. Because I'm here to tell you anything I have done, I've done it because I know you can do it. I don't do a single thing for my business that isn't duplicatable. M doesn't do a single thing for her business that isn't duplicatable. Ariel, Katie, Brittany, we all do things that are so duplicatable. But the thing of it is, be an Instagram stalker, because I still am. Hi, proud stalker. Hey, what's up? That's me. I'm okay with it. You know why? Because I'm always learning. These are things you have to be okay with, because the first 14 days enrolling somebody new, yes, the units, yes, the topics, but if you aren't starting with yourself and leading yourself, how are you going to be able to lead somebody else through? Because they're going to ask you a question from the video and you're going to be like, what video was that? Wouldn't you rather be like, oh yeah, and respond to them? Because you know exactly what they're talking about. I can tell you, I pride myself in, if I don't know a question, I don't pretend it. I say, you know what? That's a really good question. Let me find out. And then I go and I figure it out on the team page because we have trainings on it. I look in the topics or rewatch videos and I say, this is where I found it, and I tag them in it. The best thing you can also do for your newbies is, and I'm sorry if I'm like a squirrel and not making any sense to y'all, welcome to a training with Linz. But for me, the biggest thing I do is I don't just answer their questions. I answer their questions and I tag them in the video that I found the answer in, or that I know the answer is in. With newbies popping in and they say, okay, I watched unit 2, I looked at the VIP topic, I saw that you tagged me in the announcement post, I saw that you tagged me in the post that you made in your first 30 days, you and M. Now what? And I say, okay, stories. We have an entire section on the topics that says stories in Hustlin. If you click that, there are so many videos, there's so many ideas, there's so many trainings, and those are all everything to do with stories. I reorganized it. It used to say Instagram and stories, but I took Instagram trainings out of it because we had so many good, like seriously amazing stories trainings that it literally needed its own topic. It needed its time to shine. So freaking helpful. When I was going through this yesterday, I was rewatching things and I was like, oh my gosh, like so good. I retag things, I move things around. So if you haven't checked out the topic section lately, spend some time doing that. Go in there, ask yourself, what are you struggling in? If you're struggling in growing your network, there's a topic for that. If you're struggling with how to use Instagram, there's a topic for that. If you're struggling with anything, I can guarantee you there is a topic around it with a training, because there are 3 years worth of trainings in there. I know it's month end, so I'm not going to keep you guys listening to me for too long. So just to wrap it up, and it wouldn't be a Linz training if I didn't say that how you end a month is how you start a month. How you end today, how you end tonight, how you run is how you start. Do you want to start tomorrow with your foot on the brake, getting ready to push it over? Or do you want to start with it already on the gas? Ask yourself, because I can tell you, and I'm looking at all of y'all like going like this, like you're running and like your group, and I know it, but 90 days. And let me tell you, 90 days, January 1st, what's the first Tuesday? Hold on, my phone's about to die, but it's fine. Who needs it, right? It's not like we like run a business or anything from it. The first Tuesday of January is January 5th. I want to ask you, on January 5th, do you want your paycheck to be residual? meaning the last 90 days paying you out, knowing that you're starting 2021 building on top of that? Or do you want to just be starting because it's your New Year's resolution? If you are happy with a paycheck that you've received in the past, this past month, if you're happy with the paycheck you received on Tuesday, guess what? You can build on that. I can tell you that bad paychecks, good paychecks, no paychecks, they have all pushed me. They have all lit my fire in a little bit of a different way. If it's a really good one, it's because I'm like, I want to see this every week. My ass is going. Sorry if there's littles. If it is a bad one, because we've all had ones, but I don't believe that any paycheck is bad, because I want to tell you something. You made it from your phone on social media. How is that ever bad? Truly. If it's a paycheck that you looked at, you were like, wow, you know what, this could be more. Guess who your boss is that can give you a raise? Look in the mirror. You are your boss. You can tell yourself that you want a raise, and then guess what? Go and push for it. But you are never going to get a raise on the break. The only person who can build your organization is you. You can have an amazing runner underneath you, but that runner is not going to make or break your team if you yourself are not your own runner. Stop comparing yourself to other people on this tribe. That you are your strongest superpower. I can tell you that right now. Stop comparing yourself. If you want more, baby girl, go out and get it. Because as somebody who was $100,000 in debt to completely debt-free sitting here today, I'm going to tell you, you can go out and do it. The only person that's stopping you is you. The only person who is going to give January 5th a residual income that you're going to start 2021 building on instead of just now starting over is you. You know what it's like to quit. What is it like to keep going? Stop quitting on yourself. You're worth more than that. And you have the tools, the resources, the systems, the leaders, everything beside you, behind you, in front of you, wherever you need us to be, we are there. Use it. Apply it. You can do this. So with that, I hope that you all run into October, because if you're me, you're like a witchy witch and Halloween is like your jam. It's fine. My entire house is like skulls everywhere right now. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Happy month end. And I'm ready to run into the next 90-day push. And I hope that every single one of you guys are willing to run with me. So have a good night, guys. Love y'all.